Well, I'm Sidney YUEN from Hong Kong. I'm an entrepreneur, an advisor, and also an investor. During the past 30 years, I've been helping companies and individuals to get them out of the box, which means that I want them to become a better person and better organization. I've invested into a number of businesses. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. So I learned through my 30 years experience and what to look for when I decided to implement a project and also invest into a project. The latest project that I had invested is a manufacturing company in China. So I'm partnered with this entrepreneur who has manufacturing sports goods for overseas market. And it is interesting because this is something I've never done before, and it's a good time for me to just learn. And it's important also to leverage other people who are good at what they do, and plus my experience in leadership and management. So this is my current project, which is a lot of fun. I'm not a passive investor, I'm an active investor, which means that I like to roll up my sleeve and then talk to the leadership team, see how it's going, and somehow I help them on some of the business development. I help them to find customers, and I introduce the prospect to them so that they could increase their chance of success in the organization. My portfolio is a little bit beyond the early stage. They have to demonstrate that they already have the capacity to grow. Most of the projects I help is helping the owner of the company to expand their portfolio. So it's beyond a little bit startup, and usually they go for the second round of funding. So those are the time cycles that I'm investing in. And my preferred portfolios are because I come from a financial service background and also a travel-related background. So it is something to do with services, with financial, and also with technology. The number one criteria that I have is the leadership team. So who is the owner? Who is the leaders? So if the leaders are not up to what I expected, then I walk away from it. It doesn't matter how successful they are. It is important for leaders to have a vision. Something that questions I ask leaders is, what is the next step? How is the vision of your organization 3 to 4 years from now? So look at about 3 to 5 years horizons. If they could articulate that vision, strategy to me, and then if they have what it takes to go to a next step, plus what my experience is going to bring them into the future, then that would be the ideal portfolio. Well, the Island Fund was founded in 1976 in the United States, and they have already raised about $500 million US, involving over 3,000 organizations. So it's a very, very big fund. These funds are invested into other organizations which are non-profit. So it's like a social enterprise fund. And I'm glad that I'm on the board of the Island Fund of China. So we identified organizations that need our help, and then we donate and invest into those organizations. Originally, it started in 1976. It's for the Irish company in Ireland. As over 30, 40 years, it's now become a global fund. So we obviously, this fund also benefits for a company in Hong Kong and also in China. So one of the companies that I'm involved in is the Guide Dog Association for Blind People. So we invest into this organization so that the blind people could sponsor a guide dog. So train a guide dog takes about a year and about $10,000. So we are investing into this, and we thought that people benefited from it. Now, startup take entrepreneurship. Sustainability and scale up need leadership. Three major reasons why companies failed or entrepreneurs who failed. First one is they don't focus on their customers. So one of the reasons why they fail is they produce a product or services that nobody wanted it, right? So you got to listen very carefully what the market and customer need. I mean, that's the key thing. Not doing what you do and then hopefully customer will come. The times are gone. So really understand your customer and know who your market and who your customers are. Without that is a definite for failure. The second reason that entrepreneur failed is they don't manage their cash flow. Right? Small companies, cash is important. So spend your starting capitals and your money on something really important. Do not pay a lot of money for office rental. Do not spend a lot of money. We don't add value to the business. So managing your cash flow, managing your working capital is important. Without that, you won't have a business to run. Right? So the cash flow is also take into consideration the skill of managing your receivable. Right? So when you charge for a service and you charge a product, make sure you collect the money very, very quickly. So that's the second reason. The third reason is that your product is not improving. When you have a product or services, you do have a lot of competitors. So you got to be agile. You got to move fast. So for example, you have this version 1. You got to improve very, very quickly, because if you don't improve it and get on a better product, your competitor will catch up and they will grab your market share. So again, with a very detailed mindset on what do we need to do to move faster, and you just cannot stay put. So those are the three reasons any entrepreneur have to look at. China is a big market, and this is why any other foreigners who come into China need to understand the China market first. And what that means is they have to focus. Otherwise, they will be boiling the ocean. Boiling ocean, then they were going to waste a lot of money, and they will fail. So the key thing is to make sure that the product or services that they're going to market fit a specific market segment. Where, who, when, and these are the important questions they need to ask themselves. So I would recommend them to just come in with a local partner who really understand well about the psychographic and of the market, and then team up. Now, obviously, choosing and identifying a local partner is a very important one. So, and doing it alone would work, but somehow the chances are if you have a good trusted partner locally, that will improve your chance of success. Starting a business has nothing to do with age. Either you are 17 years old or 70 years old. And I think the key thing is to able to really look at a project or a business that you are passionate about. Innovation has different meaning to different countries, to different industry. To me, innovation is about serving your customer to the best of your ability. It goes beyond continuous improvement. For me, an innovative company is the leader who holds the key. Right? So the chairman or the director who will manage and lead the company into a product or services that is something that gives the customer the wow factor. Right? So the innovation is driven by leadership. Now, the entrepreneur is also linked very closely to innovation. The entrepreneurship, if I work for a company as an employee, I could be an innovator, as long as the leaders creating a culture for me to innovate. Now, just imagine if every employees are given the opportunity to become a shareholder of the company. So that will create a breakthrough. That breakthrough meaning that if I am an employee and also have some share in the organization, so that way I don't just work from 9 to 5, I will get things done. So we look at some of the really outstanding companies. They always have the employee engagement, a high-level employee engagement, and these employee engagement likely to be shareholder of the companies.